Imagine a vast world divided by a river. Monkeyland, teeming with hungry citizens, and Bananaland, overflowing with fruit. When citizens of Monkeyland buy that fruit, they are importing it. When Bananaland sells it, they are exporting. This scale shows the mathematical difference between a trade surplus and a trade deficit. If a country exports more bananas than it imports, the scale tips toward a surplus. Buying more than it sells creates a deficit. If monkey governments decide to step back and let this exchange happen without interference, they are engaging in free trade. In this scenario, the natural movement of goods ensures that surplus fruit in Bananaland reaches the hungry population of Monkeyland at a price both can afford. In 1993, European governments disrupted this balance. They decided to give their Caribbean allies a special discount on trade fees for their imported fruit. Those trade fees are called tariffs. A tariff is simply a tax, an extra service charge levied by a government to bring foreign goods across its borders. Governments impose these taxes for various reasons: to protect local farming, gain leverage in political negotiations, support their closest allies, or simply generate state revenue. American traders were also importing massive quantities of fruit at the time, but they were excluded from the European discount. They viewed this favoritism as a direct attack on their own economy. This policy of picking winners through tax breaks forced the excluded traders to choose between losing their market share or demanding that their own government retaliate. Denied the trade discount, American officials retaliated by slapping new taxes on European products, officially triggering a global trade war. Look at this receipt. Governments use an ad valorem system, adding a 20% fee to the subtotal. The foreign seller doesn't absorb the loss. The importing government collects a profit every single time a foreign product crosses the border, leaving its own citizens to struggle with the inflated cost of living. While the governments argue over policy at the top, the actual financial weight of the conflict is carried by the citizens, paying higher prices for their groceries. The financial damage extends to local products as well. Without cheap foreign imports keeping the market competitive, domestic sellers raise their prices to match. This lack of competition often causes the quality of local goods to drop. Consumers find themselves paying more for inferior fruit because they no longer have alternative options. At shipping ports, the rising cost of a single container can turn a profit into a loss for small importing businesses. Massive multinational corporations have the cash reserves to absorb these sudden tariff losses. Small, local operations, unable to cover the vanishing margins, are frequently driven into bankruptcy. Ultimately, the tariffs intended to protect the local economy ended up increasing costs for the very businesses and consumers they were meant to support. This tit-for-tat escalation over physical fruit dragged on for nearly 20 years, delaying products and stalling international commerce. The stalemate only broke when the World Trade Organization, the global bureaucratic authority on commerce, was forced to step in and mediate the crisis. Under intense international pressure, the European governments finally folded, lowering their tariffs for the United States and effectively resetting the global market. 2 decades of financial stress and economic warfare concluded exactly where they began, at the baseline of free trade. While the 1993 war was fought over physical fruit, tomorrow's trade conflicts will target invisible assets. Governments are already drafting digital tariffs to tax cross-border data, ebooks, AI artwork, and NFTs, treating pixels the same way they treat physical produce. They are also rolling out environmental tariffs. Soon, products may be taxed at the border based on the volume of carbon emissions or habitat destruction required to manufacture them. Whether a government is taxing a physical banana, a digital image, or atmospheric pollution, the resulting economic burden always falls on the individuals at the bottom of the chain. To say thank you to all 240,000 members of our troop, Primate Economics has donated $500 to Save the Chimps, helping rescue primates from research labs and the pet trade. Apes together strong.